بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. زين للناس حب الشهوات من النساء والبنين والقناطير المقنطرة من الذهب والفضة والخيل المسومة والأنعام والحرث ذلك متاع الحياة الدنيا والله عنده حسن المآب. صدق الله العظيم. My dear respected brothers and sisters, firstly, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We're here for a session together, and the more attentive you will be, the more attentive I will be. So I'm going to ask you please to keep your mobile phones off or on silent. If you do that, it will be better for all of us, inshallah. So I'm here to say some valuable things for myself, for yourself, something that is going to be very valuable for our life. So I want you to pay attention. Let me start off with one thing, which is when you in life, let's just talk about something very simple. When you look at something in the supermarket and you look at it with a nice packaging, let's just say it's going to be a food item, because most of us, we like to have food, mashallah, alhamdulillah. Sometimes we can't get enough of food. Let's say we have something, let's say a chocolate bar, or it's going to be something simple as a crisp packet. I want you to pick in your mind a favorite item of yours in the supermarket. When you look at it on the shelf, you see the packaging on the outside. The packaging is nice and colorful. It's designed well. It's got maybe a shape to it. It makes you look like, even if it's a packet of crisps, it looks so golden on the outside, the crisps, and it looks so delicious. If it was to be let's say a drink or something, it might have a person who's drinking on a hot day, they're sweating and they're drinking, and when you look at it, you kind of think, wow, that's it's going to quench my thirst. Okay, that's the image that you get straight away. That's how you feel. The color will also be slightly red or slightly off red. It's going to be to a certain color that will tempt you to want to buy this and try this drink. That's true or not, tell me? Guys, you got to stay awake with me, okay? You got to talk to me. I like to talk to people when I'm talking, when I'm giving a talk. That's true or not? Yes. Good. That's called zina. That's the attractive part to the chocolate, to the crisp, to the drink, to whatever you want to buy. That's the attractive part. Now you take the drink, for example, it's a drink, you take it, it's a nice fizzy drink, okay? So it's got nice bubblies, cold from the fridge. You take it and you drink it, and you kind of think, kind of feel really good about it, because it tastes nice and sweet. That again is a way of attracting you to not only drink that, but they want you to buy more and more of that drink, and they want you to drink more and more of it. Come again and again and drink it. Now, what I've said to you so far is zina in Arabic, which is attraction. There's another word in the Quran known as haqiqa. Haqiqa is the reality, or haqq, the truth, and the real state. Now, when you look at the real state of something, it's totally different. Now, let's analyze the same drink again, the same chocolate bar again, okay, the same crisp again. You looked at it from the outside, you thought, yummy, 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 I want to have a lot of that, okay, I want to go and buy that, I want to just put that in my body. The haqiqah, the truth is, that drink that you just took, it could have maybe 5 spoons of sugar. It could have 6 spoons of sugar. The haqiqah is, the truth is, the reality is, you're putting all that sugar into your stomach. The haqiqah, the reality after that is that when you put a lot of that sugar inside you again and again, then that sugar has to pass through your system. And when it passes through your liver, when it passes through your body, or when you're at crisp and all that salt is piling up and your heart is ending, the bloodstream has the sugar inside it, and that's going through your heart. The reality is something totally different. Yes or no, tell me. Right, now that's reality. They will never advertise to you, a man with a sick heart on a packet of crisps. Are you guys following me? He's talking, ha 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 ha. All these cigarettes that they sell. Cigarettes. Alhamdulillah, at least the amount of cigarettes people are buying is less and less. In the new year, the problem is that the amount of drugs people are buying is more and more. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the cigarettes, when they sell them, they will never show you a sick person who's smoking cigarettes. They'll always show you a person who's enjoying smoking something. Why? Because they want to attract you to buy that thing. Haqiqah, reality is when you take so much smoke into your lungs, we all know this. Your lungs can get cancer. Your body can take a big, health. You take through a health risk in the long-term future when you take this smoke in and again and again. These are the two things. One is zina, attraction, and the other one is haqiqah, reality. Can I get everyone to repeat that for me? One is what? Zina, which is what? Attraction. And the other one is, or haqiqah, you find that this haqiqah is the part that's the real part of a person's life. It's a real part of a person's life. Now let me move away from the crisp and chocolate and come to something different. Because I want you to understand something, especially our youngsters. The younger you are, the more you are on the side of zina, on the side of attraction. And the less you think about haqiqah, reality. The older you become, the more you think about haqiqah, the reality of things, and the less you are attracted to glamour. You guys follow me, yes or no? You're gonna say, he's Buddha Baba anyway. He's old anyway, his teeth are falling. What's he got to be attracted to, right? His hair is white, his teeth are falling, his bones are weak, he's becoming slow in life. He's at the end of his life. What's he going to be attracted to? But you're missing one point. What you're missing out on is humans have been conditioned in a certain way. When Allah created the human, when he grows and is growing, there is almost like 100%, a baby is 100% attracted to zina, 0% attracted to haqiqah, reality. I'll give you an example. You have a baby, a child, okay? I'll put out a 50-pound note. Red 50-pound note in one hand, and in the other hand, I'll just put a simple sweet. Tell me 100% of the times, tell me, what is the child going to pick out of my two hands? Which one? The sweet. Because that's zina. Alright? That's zina. That is what I want right now. He doesn't understand haqiqah. Haqiqah, reality is that 50 pound could buy you maybe, 500 bags of sweets. Alright? He doesn't know that. He's attracted to sweet. Even if you explain it to him, look, take a little baby, okay? You say, look, he can talk, he can engage with you, but he's only 2 years old. Just take the 50 pound, take this, you can buy. He doesn't see it. It's that, you showed me. If I showed him 50 bags of sweets, and one sweet, which one's he gonna go for? Now 50 bags of sweet, I say on the one hand, and one sweet here, which one's gonna go for? 50, come on, you guys are now losing it, right? Come on, do some maths, come on. The kid sees 50 bags of sweet, you say, you want this or do you want this one sweet? He'll go for the 50 bags. Now he can see the haqiqah there. If I put 50 bags of sweet, he can see the haqiqah, he can see the reality. He'll go for the 50 bags. We all know this. But if you give him a 50 pound note, he can't see the 50 bags. He sees the 50 pound note, that's a paper. He sees the one sweet, that sweet is what I want right now. Do you guys understand? Right. You move through life, you find that the human, as he grows, he understands more and more to look at reality of things. And I'm appealing to my young brothers, my young sisters. The earlier in life, you will learn to look at reality and to look at the truth, okay? The greater benefits you'll bring to your life, the more happy you'll become. My friends, wake up. The more happy you'll become, long-term happiness. You'll be happy in this world, you'll be happy in the next world. Let me give you another example. When you show a child, let's say, well, not a child, let's go to a teenager. A teenager. What does a teenager see in terms of a nice car? You give him a nice, really good car, okay? Sports car. Give him a sports car. And you tell him this sports car is for hire for a day. He's gonna take that out for a day. He wants to spin it around. For him, what is it? He wants to spin that car around. He wants to burn the tires. He wants to test the injection out. He wants to test all the mod cons on that car. He wants to go as fast as he can, right? And he wants to have a great time. Haqiqah is something different about a car. You tell any youngsters about cars, all they want to do is they want to have what? Look, cars and phones or gadgets. They want to have the latest car, the latest phone. And you know why they want the latest car, latest phone? It's not because of the car, it's not because of the phone. I'll be honest with you. They want the latest car, they want the latest phone because of the zina they're going to create. So let me explain to you how it works. When I have a normal car, nobody gives me much attention. Everyone's like, oh, you got that car? Oh, all right. 2,000 pound car, whatever, nothing special about the car. When I've got a car that not many people have got, then everyone's going to be looking at me. Everyone's going to be talking about me. That's zina, that's attraction. I've just got attraction. Humans are conditioned not only to be attracted to things, but they want others to be attracted to them. It's in our psychology, it's in our brains. Allah's made us like this. But there's a danger. The danger is if you don't lead your life according to haqiqah and reality, you're going to be fooling yourself. So what this man wants to do, young man, right? Or a young woman, they want to have a car or a phone where everyone's talking about them. Oh, do you know Hamid's phone, man? It's sick, man. It's sick. He got these latest apps here. You can do this, you can do that, you know. Everyone's talking about that. He's getting a lot of ratings amongst his friends, all right? That's what he's interested in. Now let's look at the car. The car, a good car, right? If you look at the zina is the shape of the car, the look of the car, the mod cons, the way the car might be an attraction for others towards you. That's all zina. The reality of the car is, let's say a brand new car today. What's the reality of the car? In 5 years' time, that car is no longer an element for others to be attracted to you. Yes or no, guys? Yes. In 10 years' time, that car is now going through a lot of repairs. Yes? Yes. In 15 years' time, that car is going through major repairs. The whole body of the engine has to be changed. The chain has to be taken out. Forget the wheels, you're going to have to go through the axle to take something else out of it. Okay? In 20 years' time, that car is almost close to its janazah. You guys understand? It's time to do janazah of the car. That's reality, that's haqiqah, that's reality. I want my young friends to think. Today, guys, look, today I'll be honest with you. Your mobile phones and the apps inside it and the social media you have, your own personal YouTube account, your personal Instagram account, your likes that you're getting, this is all, what is it? Is it zina or haqiqah this? Come on guys, is it zina or haqiqah? Tell me. Zina. It's giving you attraction. Haqiqah, reality is, it's nothing. Nothing. Let me tell you why it's nothing. What do those numbers matter? Let me just give you an example, yeah? One person here sitting here has got 1,000 likes. 1,000 likes on, let's say, Facebook. Or maybe you've got 5,000 followers on Instagram. Okay? Big number. That's zina. That's like, wow, yeah, man. He's got 5,000. Oh, he's big. Or YouTube, let's say YouTube subscribers. It's a big thing. If you can get subscribers on YouTube, it's like, wow, I'm up there. People have to respect me. The reality is, those followers, those likes, those subscribers, they are only there today because they're also getting attraction. Some of you are not going to understand. I'm going to have to break it down for you. So you got attraction, you got like 5,000 followers. Yeah? But all those followers are following you because they're also getting attraction. Oh, I'm following so-and-so. There's people who follow celebrities. They'll follow their pages. Why? Because they're also getting attraction. Oh, I'm on that page. I want to know the latest. When they know the latest, they're coming back to their crowds and saying, did you see this? Did you watch this video? Did you watch the latest YouTube video? Why? Why are they doing that? Because they want to be the first to break the news to their friends. When they're the first to break the news to their friends, or when they are up to date with all the information going on all these YouTube channels, right? They start talking about these, I don't know, one of the latest ones, these kids are talking about, what is kids talking about? This YouTube, there's these Muslim guys that play mafia or something. What's it called? I don't know, there's all these different ones, right? But some of these youth are talking about, do some of the youth know what I'm talking about? They had some mafia games on there, they had some banter on there. Anyone know what I'm talking about? No? There's latest YouTube videos and channels. What happens is the youth talk about it, and if you're able to talk about the latest happening, then you know what? You've got the most attraction for yourself. Let's say, for example, Fortnite that you have, right? Fortnite is a game that you have. When you know the latest download is coming, and the latest update is going to come, and you're the first one in your school to talk about it to your friends, and your friends say, yeah, this update comes. You know the date when it's going to come. You know the time when it's going to be released. You know the new skins. When you talk about new skins, oh my God, everyone's talking to you. Everyone wants to know you. Why? Because you're updated with the information. And why are you doing that? Because you want attraction to yourself. Everyone is wanting attraction to themselves. But what's the haqiqah? Let's now go to the haqiqah reality. You've got 5,000 followers on Instagram. Imagine one day, God forbid, in Ponder's End, one day, God forbid, you were outside there on the high street and you had an accident. A car hit you and you got knocked onto the ground. And some of your followers on Instagram happened to be walking past at that time when the impact happened. Are they likely to jump right towards you, pick you up, ask you how you are, brush off the dust and other things off your clothes, look at whether you're damaged, seriously ask how you are, be next to you, console you, be right, in your soul and trying to look after you? Or are they likely to take the phone out straight away, bang, and take a video straight away? Which one, the first or second time?
Take the video.
Exactly. That's the kind of world we're living in. People, I can't believe them. People are more interested in filming other people's injuries. The guy's on the floor, blood coming out, right? You can see part of his teared muscles, right? His bones probably broken. He's in pain on the ground. There's 12 people around, all with the cameras out. Oh, you know why? Because they're gonna get thousands of likes from that one video. So did they care about you or did they care about themselves? Tell me. Now come on guys, talk to me. Did they care about you or did they care about themselves? Tell me. Themselves. If you look at haqiqah is 5,000 followers. Out of 5,000 followers, you'll be lucky if 5 of them care about you. That's the reality. 1,000 likes on Facebook, 1,000 likes. All those likes tomorrow, if you have bad news, this is reality. If tomorrow, you were so glamorous, you took this photo, that photo, today's the age of selfies. Everyone selfies. Take this selfie, man. Your selfies there, I look at it and I think, man, I know you took 20 selfies and you only uploaded one, the best one. Do you guys understand? That's what they do. The one that's and after the selfie, there's image enhancing. Allahu Akbar. They've got to put the right color, the right setting, the right background, make my laptop look a little bit better, right? And then after that, upload it. But after all those selfies and after all those things that you uploaded, those people did not care about you. Because tomorrow, if there's a tragedy in your life and people are talking about you on Facebook and people are saying, you know what, so-and-so, yeah, who had 1,000 likes or who had this many likes, so-and-so, did you hear this about him? Yeah, that's really bad. Then they come onto your Facebook page and they start to attack you. Without evidence. Without asking you how you are, without asking the truth. Did they like you? Did they care about you? Yes or no, tell me. Yes or no, guys, tell me. No. They don't like you, they don't care about you. All they're doing is they're pressing a button, because after liking you, when they share that with others, others are going to give them credit. It's all about every man for himself. It's a very dirty world. Open your eyes and see it. Some of you are thinking that, you know what? These games that I'm playing right now, because I know the world has become social media and games. Most of these youngsters, social media and games. And if not, yeah, that's probably one. I know it's sad to say, okay, because a lot of time is wasted in this, a lot of wrongs are done in this, but it's still better than some of our youngsters ending up in drugs and other things, which I'll talk about in a bit, right? But imagine on social media, right? Social media has become your life. Or the games on your Xbox One or PlayStation has become your life. What is the reality to those games that you're playing? Zina is what? Zina is this. I get online, I'm playing real time with my friends. And guys, I'm going to share something with you. These kids, I sometimes feel sorry for them. Because when I was young, they had games. Those games used to be addictive for us, but these kids, subhanallah, I don't know, they're getting some serious injections from these games. There's so much going on, so much attraction, so many things. And we never had the internet when I was young. The internet wasn't even born. And imagine these kids are now sitting here, they're playing with 4 other people, 8 other people, real time, talking to them with their headsets, okay? They're talking to them with their headsets and they're completely zonked out. There's so much stimulation going on. I really feel for the world. Be prepared for the world, my friends. I was watching a documentary this last month. In 10 years' time, they're saying, 10 years' time, the world could be filled with driverless cars. They're saying as close as 10 years' time. They've already developed the machines, right? There's already cars that drive without the driver having to drive at the seat. Okay? In 10 years' time, they're going to have cars that will be, like most of us will get in a car and that's it. You just press a button, tell you where to go, and that's it. It just takes you to your destination. Imagine in 10, 15 years' time where the game industry is going to go. Because there's already avatars that you can create. What I mean by this is that there's already mechanisms they're making where a child will put a helmet or a pair of goggles over their eyes, and then they'll actually be playing in a virtual world. It's already out, but that can probably become the reality in 10, 15 years' time, where all children are hooked onto that. Now tell me the reality of this. I play real time with my friends. My friends are talking to me. I'm so much into these games. Whether it's FIFA you're playing, whether it's Fortnite you're playing, whether it's some other game you're playing it in real time, you're getting all the excitement. That's zina, that's attraction. You're being attracted to all of this. The haqiqah, the reality is, after playing all those games, one day you will come to your life and all those hours you spent playing were totally wasted. That's the haqiqah. Today's enjoyment. Today you're loving it. Today you can't get enough of it. One day you will wake up and say to yourself that, you know what? I wish I had spent a bit more time studying or a bit more time thinking about life. Now some of you who are young here are going to say, nah, that's not going to be me. Am I right or not? These youngsters, just like when we were young, they're saying to themselves, that's not going to be me. Guys, wake up. Allah has created the human being. Let me talk about the human being earlier. Right? 0 to 3 years old, the human, they say this is like the sensory development stage. What the human is doing, this little baby is looking at objects. It wants to explore objects. It wants to be in the, to discover. It's in a discovery mode. When it goes to 3 to 7, the human being wants to play a lot. Just play games, run around, play. 7 to 11 years old, there's a development that happens in the brain. All humans, these are all humans. You change. You mature slightly. Now your interests are different. You don't want to just play, you want to be amused, you want to go through some kind of amusement. From 11 to 14 years old, in the early adolescent years, the human being goes through another change. Now, they're not there just to have innocent games. Now they're attracted to one another. Girls are attracted to boys, boys are attracted to girls. The life takes another dimension. From 14 years onwards, as the teenager is developing, okay, there's another whole part that is developing in them where they're becoming adults. They're now interested in the cars. They weren't interested in driving cars when they were young. They're interested in bigger things. When they get to 20 something, they're now interested in a larger part of life. They're interested now in what? Into actually getting a house. Job first, then a house. They're interested in all things. Like they want to have assets. They want to have something that they actually own. When they get to the 30s, when a human gets to the 30s, football is not the biggest thing on your mind. In your 20s, football, you want to play all the time, you want to have games. In the 30s, you play a little, you watch more. You guys understand? You play a little and you watch more. In the 40s, you hardly play, you just watch. In your 50s, you can't be bothered. You just watch a few things because life changed. Life changed. Tell me, there's only a few people who will be that passionate about these things that they'll carry on doing that till the end of their life. And it's really shameful if they haven't, developed into something more important. The reality of most of these things is that when you get to a certain age of your life, you're not going to be interested in it at all. You're not going to be interested at all. And then a new reality hits you. The reality of a relationship with your friend. Let's just say, for example, there's a boy attracted to a girl attracted to a boy. What happens? What's the reality? Today, it's like, if I don't have that person in my life, I might as well die. I might as well go through suicide. Tomorrow, right, once you've been closed for a number of years, you've been closed for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, it's like, when you see that person, you look at that person and think, what are you doing here? Why are you around me for? You kind of think, yeah, okay, I can get on with your business. Tomorrow is different. You're attracted to a young person because you're young. Do you know that while you're young, Allah has created a lot of hawa. It's got a lot of desires inside. These desires are very strong. And you'll be attracted to a lot of things. And the young people don't understand. Young people need to realize that the humans, if you want to study yourself as a human, you need to look at the history of humans. Facebook's not going to help you do this. Google's not going to help you do this. YouTube's not going to help you do this. I'm being very honest with you. Instagram videos and that, never going to teach you this. Reality of life and knowing what humans are, you better study the human history. And the best book in the world to know human history is the Quran. The best book in the world, and I'm not just saying this. The best book ever in the history of humans to study humans is the Quran. Why? Let's just take a very brief example. Because what the Quran does, the Quran keeps on talking about what was the attraction and what was the zina and what was the haqiqah. So let's take a simple analogy from the Quran. Most of you have probably heard the story of Yusuf alayhi salam in the Quran. I'm going to just show you a few parts of it. When Yusuf alayhi salam sees the dream, and he sees the sun and the moon and 11 stars bowing down to him, he quickly tells his dad, Dad, I saw this dream. His dad tells him, don't tell your brothers. فَيَكِيدُوا لَكَ كَيْدًا, because your brothers will plot against you. Are you guys following me, yes or no?
Yeah.
Have you heard of the story of Yusuf? Just put your hands up.
Yeah.
Come on guys, just put your hands up, thank you. That's good. So I'm talking to the crowd that knows what to do. Now let's just quickly look at this. Your brothers will plot against you. Yusuf alayhi salam is young. He doesn't have the experience of his father. Tell me who's more wise? Yaqub alayhi salam the father or Yusuf alayhi salam the child? Who's more wise? The father. Most of you young people think that the old generation, they're just old. They don't understand. One thing, yes, they might not be playing Fortnite. They probably don't know how to hold a controller. Alright? They don't know this. They don't know how to even go through the apps on their phones. They don't even have a smartphone, some of them. Yes, but you know what? Those humans, they have been through life and they know what a human is. And they know the failures of a human being and they know the goods of a human being and the success of a human being. They know this because they themselves have been hurt. Yaqub alayhi salam as an elder person told him, don't tell your brothers. Because once you tell them, they're going to plot against you. Yusuf alayhi salam somehow said it, the brothers found out. Now look, he told them innocently because he probably thought, okay, let them know about it. But what he didn't look at is the haqiqah. The haqiqah is, Quran teaches us that the humans have got jealousy inside them. Yes or no?
Yes.
Tell me yes or no, guys, come on.
Yes.
You live your life with showing food every time. Just some people, subhanallah, they can't live their life except they have to upload 3 or 4 pictures a day on Facebook of their life. Why on earth are you doing this? Today I'm having huti shira. Look, I want everyone to see this. Why are you doing this? You're going to attract a lot of people towards you for the wrong reasons. Today I bought myself a wonderful vase. I bought a car. You're showing it to the world. You know what you're doing? You are attracting exactly what Yusuf alayhi salam fell into, which is people jealousy. Brothers were jealous. Okay, now let's look at the next thing. The brothers then put him into a well. Then Yusuf alayhi salam ends up in a large minister's kind of palace. He ends up there. It's a very grandeur sort of house. He ends up there. Yusuf alayhi salam is in there's another piece that Allah Azza wa Jalla wants to teach us of human beings. Yusuf alayhi salam is there. He's a young, beautiful individual. The woman in the house, she falls in love with him. She has got zina or haqiqah. Tell me, what is it? Yes, what is it? Zina. She's attracted to him. She's not looking at haqiqah. Yusuf alayhi salam talks about haqiqah. She traps him in the house. She locks all the doors. She wants to go for him. And he says, Yusuf alayhi salam says, Ma'adallah. I seek refuge in Allah. Innahu Rabbi ahsana mathwai. He said, my Lord, Allah Azza wa Jalla has been very good to me. And the second tafsir is, your husband who's looked after me has been very good to me. How dare I dishonor your husband behind his back? Innahu la yuflihu zalimun. If me and you do this right now, both of us will be zalim. Both of us will be oppressors. And Allah does not like the people who are oppressors and He's not going to make them successful. This is haqiqah. You guys understand this or no? This is reality. If you commit the wrong act, you do a sin, Allah Azza wa Jal will bring about a price for you to pay. Yusuf alayhi salam knew this, so he ran. Now look, let's go to another one. Yusuf alayhi salam then ends up in the prison. Right? He ends up in the prison. And as he ends up in the prison, what we see there is another reality. Because Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, from the outside what we see is that innocent man is in prison. The haqiqah, the truth is, Allah Azza wa Jalla wanted to clear him of this allegation through the king. So he made the king see a dream. The king then sent a person to the prison. That person comes and gets Yusuf alayhi salam. And then Allah wanted to clear Yusuf alayhi salam through the whole state, not just individually, through the whole state. So anyway, in the end, he's innocent. If you look at the whole story, you find what you find. you find jealousy, you find greed. The brothers were greedy for their own status. You find hawa, passions. You find people's, like the woman, she couldn't control herself. This is human psychology. This is the reality of humans. Allah is teaching us who humans are from the Quran. The best book you can ever get is the Quran to know what humans are. I'll tell you one thing. Instagram is here today, Instagram's not going to be here tomorrow. YouTube's here today, YouTube's not going to be here tomorrow. But one thing is, human greed is here today, human greed will be there tomorrow. You guys are following me, yes or no? Yes. Jealousy was there yesterday, jealousy is there today, jealousy will be there tomorrow. Arrogance was there yesterday, arrogance is there today, arrogance will be there tomorrow. Pride, envy, malice, hatred, racism, having evil intentions, all these human emotions, anger, greed, wanting to, sloth, or wanting to sort of, consume a lot of things, just to become selfish. These are human traits. They will never be wiped away from the human race. If you are smart enough as a young person, you don't look at what's there today as a device. You don't look at what is there today as what you're attracted to and what others are attracted to. You don't look at that. You look at the reality. What is it going to become tomorrow? What's the reality of this? One thing Allah Azza wa Jalla has told us that the human is conditioned is that there is something called ajila and something called ajila. Ajila is the now, ajila is the tomorrow, what's coming next. A lot of young people are attracted to the now and they don't look at the later. For example, exams are coming up. Exams are coming up. As a young man or a young woman has to study and they have to sit there going through all the mock tests, going through a lot of stress. GCSEs are coming up and they're going through all these, anxiety parts of their lives. Why do I have to study all of this? I'd rather play games. I'd rather talk to my friends. I'd rather be on my phone. This is why. Because they're attracted to the now. They're not thinking of tomorrow. If you're a wise person, you look at reality. You look at the fact that what are you doing right now? It might not be enjoyable to you right now, but tomorrow is going to be something different. The big lesson that we need to understand is Allah Azza wa Jalla has told us in the Holy Quran how humans will evolve and how humans will be. My friend, wake up. Let me just talk about another problem that we've got in terms of like drugs and what our youth go in terms of. They might go from cigarettes, e-cigarettes, weed, something else, right? Which is again, the whole reason why they're doing it is for attraction. Am I right or am I wrong? Look, someone smoking, they're not smoking for any other reason at the beginning except they're going to look cool. It's the trend. I'm part of it. Whether it's all my friends are doing it and I want to do, why do I want to do it? If my friends are doing it and I want to take the cigarette and I want to smoke with them, why? Because if I don't smoke this, they're going to regard me as someone lower in status. I'm not part of them. So if they're all smoking and I smoke, then I move up to their level. It's attraction. You're after zina. You're after making yourself look attractive towards them. Then one of them one day tries weed. And he says, this is really cool, man. This is giving me a new buzz, which I never had from the cigarettes that we used to have or anything else that we used to smoke before. Go and try it. Now what happens is you might think that time that, look, I don't want to try the weed. Like cigarette was too much for me anyway. But he said, go and try a bit. He said, what's the matter, man? Are you scared? Are you scared? Are you mommy's little boy? They start putting you down. Now if you want to stay up in the social status, you have to take that weed. You have to puff it. Show him it's okay. Show him you're not going to cough. Show him you're going to take a few more. But if you're gonna say no to it, they're gonna say, he's just, look at him, man, he's just one of those, I'm not gonna use the words they use in slang, but one of those, not part of us basically. We're up there, he's down there. Now what you're doing is, haqiqah is you're gonna ruin your life. You take the weed one day, you take a second day, Then what happens is people say this. People say, when I'm stressed out, see, this is now the new thing. When I'm stressed out and I take weed or I take cigarettes, then it makes me feel better. It makes me think better. I'm thinking, do better. You guys, he thinks better. I'm thinking, do better. Because what it is, look, I've never taken cigarettes in my life. I've never taken, alhamdulillah, never taken any drugs in my life. Alhamdulillah, I'm always thinking, okay, if you use a stimuli to make yourself think, then you're going to need the stimuli to think. It's like people who can't go to sleep. I'm going to advise you, never take the pills to go to sleep. Never. Why do you have to take pills to go to sleep? People I know, they suffer from insomnia. They can't go to sleep at night. And they want to take pills. You know what happens? The pills then put them to heavy sleep, and then they get addicted to the pills. Like stress is one. If you're ever stressed or depressed, and the doctor tells you, I mean, in certain cases, okay, fine, you need to take some medication. I'm not telling you not to take the medication. But for most normal people, you can stay away from this and you can get away with it. How? Let me just tell you how. When you've got insomnia, tell me how long can a man or a woman go without sleep, without actually falling asleep? Eventually you're going to fall asleep. But you're going to say to him, but no, Ustad, I want to fall asleep at night with everybody else. I'm going to tell you how to fall asleep at night with everybody else. You lie on your bed and tell me this, just do this for me one night. You lie on your bed and say to yourself, tonight, me and the shaitan, we're going to have heavyweight. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to do the dhikr of Allah. Or I'm going to read the surahs I know. I'm going to read it again and again and again and again until Fajr. Until the morning. I don't care, I'm just going to do it. And just lie in your bed, toss, turn, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, just think of Allah, think la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. You can't go to sleep, it doesn't matter. La ilaha illallah, a'udhu billahi shaitan rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim, arayta alladhi yukadhibu bi dhalika alladhi yadullu. You're tossing, turning, and you're reading. I'm going to tell you one thing, shaitan is going to put you to sleep. He's going to rockabye you to sleep. Why? Because shaitan doesn't want you to do all of that dhikr in the Quran. Any person I've given this remedy to, they'll fall asleep. And they won't only fall asleep, they'll fall asleep very quickly. It gets very quick sleep. Tell me the truth or not. When you're engaged in a very good dhikr or something, or tilawa, you kind of feel sleepy, yes or no? Tell me. Yes. Allah. Huh? There's two sides to this. One is, sometimes the shaitan wants you to fall asleep. But second one is, Allah gives you nu'as. The better interpretation is Allah gives you nu'as. What's nu'as? Amanatan nu'asan yaghsha ta'ifatan minhum. When you engage in dhikr and you engage in tilawa, Allah Azza wa Jal brings His mercy down. And when His mercy comes down with the angels, it makes you feel this nice, calm, this really cool feeling inside you that you can just drowse. Just drowse to sleep. It's actually a good sign. It's not a sign that shaitan is with you at that time. You just feel very relaxed. And I'm going to tell you to do this. When you're stressed out, I'm going to say, don't take these pills. Depression, taking pills. No. Person who's depressed, what you should do is you should laugh a lot more, socialize more, laugh more, and then get yourself engaged in salawat on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, durood on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam again and again. It's going to make you different. Now, what was the thing I was saying just before this? Just before I came off to, anyone remember? Sorry? The drugs, okay. A person, thank you very much. A person who's taking the weed, a person trying to use that as a stimuli to make themselves think. But you took that once and it made you think well. And you think that I want to get the same mind, so I'm going to take a second one and I'm going to take a strong one. See, what happens after a while is that the weak one, the weed doesn't work anymore. Most people who took drugs, they say this. They took weed, and they say, Ita kitabe, dude, what is this? Give me something stronger. They need something stronger than to give them that extra buzz. The extra buzz. Now the haqiqah is what? Haqiqah, reality is it's ruining your body inside. If you're a smart young man, that day, look, I'm going to tell you what happened in my life. I was 16 years old when my friend offered me a cigarette. My friend used to smoke, age of 16. He used to smoke, every day he used to smoke. I used to go for a walk with him. One day what he did is that he offered me the cigarette. He said, take the cigarette. And I said to him, and I was quite blunt with him. I said, you've been my friend for a very long time. And you smoke, I've never smoked. But I'll tell you one thing. You offer me a cigarette again, our friendship is finished. I told him straight. You offer me a cigarette again, my friendship is finished with you. He said, why man? What's the matter? Just take one. I said, no. You want to smoke? You smoke. That's your choice. I have to smoke with you? No. I'm sorry. I've got my values. I've got my principles. I stuck to it. You know what? Our friendship became stronger. When you say no to your friends for the wrong things they call to you, you know what? They respect you. You know why? Shall I tell you why? Because he's so weak, he gave in to his hawa and his passions. He gave in. He couldn't help it. He's tempted. His ego said smoke. He smoked. Then he got addicted. Now he can't let go of it. He's weak. You said no to it, you're strong. You're not weak for saying no to drugs. You're strong, my friend. And they're all going to respect you. I'm doing wallahi in the mosque, I'm telling you this. When you say no to sin, when your friends are doing the wrong thing, and some of you have friends and they're probably doing the wrong thing, okay? You might be with them for whatever reason. But when you say no to them and you be who you are, you know what? They'll all respect you tomorrow. They'll say, you know what? We might have failed, but he never took it. She never did what we did. And they'll respect you a lot more for it. There's respect in holding to your values, not going for greed, not going for your lust and passions, not giving into temptations, not giving into your inside jealousy, not giving to any of that. There's serious respect for it in this dunya. In the akhirah, Allah is going to give you a lot more. Haqiqah is you see where humans are going wrong. Haqiqah is you start realizing that, look, guys, what's going on here? People who get onto, let me talk about another one that's slightly more older, alright? Drugs, things is a lot more for these younger generations. Some of the younger generations and a lot of the older generation, they get into alcohol. And what they do is, they take alcohol and it's a way of like they're stressed out. A lot of the people start alcohol when they're stressed out. Or when they're having fun. There's two times. When they're either having a lot of fun with others or they're stressed out. So what they do is they want to forget their worries. So they take the alcohol and they want to take it so that they get in the state, same as drugs. They want to get in a state where just like, right? They're in the vegetable state. They're in another world. Their mind is thinking about so many other things. They're not thinking about the problems. That's the zina. That's the attraction. Haqiqah is, tomorrow, you won't be yourself. You won't have control over your bowel. Your bowels, you won't have control over that. You won't have control over your bladder. You won't have control over your tongue. You will be saying things to people which you shouldn't have said. You won't have control over your family life. You'll be ruining yourself, ruining others. That's haqiqah, that's reality. If you see it, if you see so many humans fell into this before, right now, I can't fall into it. I'll tell you one thing, subhanallah al-azim. A lot of our Muslim community, the practicing Muslims, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, we are, I'm just going to say this as a praise to Allah Azza wa Jal, not because we're putting others down, but sometimes Allah said, وَأَمَّا بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِّثْ. When you've got a very good gift of God, then you should talk about it. You know one thing, we Muslims, we are a blessing on this earth. We're a blessing on this earth. And the people who know it, they tell us on our faces. The people who know it, they tell us on our faces. Who? Shall I tell you who? The police. Forget all this terrorism rubbish. The police know, the police in this country, I'm telling you, they've told me on my face. The police know a practicing Muslim is alhamdulillah. Babaji, alhamdulillah. Because you don't take alcohol. You're practicing Muslim, no alcohol, no drugs. If they see a practicing Muslim driving a car, right, very less likely to stop you. Very less likely to stop, with my beard here. No. And even if they stop me, they'll never give me a test for alcohol. They'll never do that. They'll never, because they know I don't drink. Not only that, if they ever were to come to my house and there's some kind of trouble, they'll be very respectful when they see a person practicing. Why? They know this person must have a good character because the person prays. Most people who pray, they don't swear. They don't have bad habits. And the police respect us for that. You know who else respects us? The banks. The banks love us. You think I'm joking? I know, they've told me on my face. I went, this was about 12 years ago. That time when they had, 10 years ago, okay? That time they had the HSBC Amana mortgage. It was a halal option mortgage. So I went there and I tried to get a mortgage, halal mortgage. So it was very expensive, I know that. I went there and the man did not have time. I'm like, come on, look at my case, look at my, you're giving form after documentation, delays are being done. And I went to his desk and I sat down and I said, listen, I'm going to be straight up with you here. I'm coming to you as a customer, trying to give you money, and you haven't got time for me. He said, I'll tell you the truth. Okay, tell me the truth. He said, we opened this HSBC Amana mortgage and we've got 65 applicants a week. 65 applicants a week in this branch, right? Of the 65 applicants, most of them are practicing Muslims. And because they're practicing Muslims, when we look at the bank statements, there's no borrowing money. We stay away from riba, yes or no? We stay away from usury. The guy told me, no credit, the credit history is like AAA. Never gone below the balance, never gone below zero. There's no clubbing, there's no dating, there's no unnecessary spending, there's no debts, right? These are clean customers, no drugs. He told me there's no drugs, no alcohol, money's being saved in the bank, regular payments being done. These are gold customers. We got 65 applicants, I can't deal with all of them. There's too many. Do you know what that means? You look, if you think that Muslims, no. We're some of the best people. I'll tell you one thing, when you go to the A&E, you understand. Go to the A&E. They love us. We don't walk in there, I just smashed my head because I've drunk too much. They're losing billions of pounds every year with drug-related, alcohol-related problems. And they respect us practicing Muslims because we don't have any of it. Alhamdulillah, say Alhamdulillah. I'm asking you youngsters to wake up to reality. I'll tell you the truth. The truth is, you're going to get in a life with friends mucking about, wasting time. You get into drugs a little, maybe not drugs, get into girls. If not girls, you get all the games. If not games, you're on your social media, you're on your app, you're whizzing around. You in the midst of that, you can't respect your dad, you can't respect your mom because they don't understand me. You're in attraction, they're in haqiqah. You see what's glamour, they see the reality. You go through all of that for 10 years, 15 years, and then boom, life hits you. Boom, life hits you in the face. You're going to be 25 years old, 30 years old, then it hits you. Wow, where's my degree today? I messed up my GCSEs long time back. I messed up my A-levels. I got into a bad, company of friends. I enjoyed it so much that time. Wow, these kids, look, I'm going to tell you one thing here. If you're in one of these, high fly, kind of lives here, where your man's like, he walks like that and you walk like that as well, and you're like, yeah, man, yeah. Your man yesterday was saying, yeah. That guy's locked up in prison. That guy's not to be even seen. Or he drugged himself so badly, now his whole family don't want to know him, because when you get to high drugs, what happens? When you get higher and higher in drugs, the next thing is you need money to buy the drugs, so you can't get the drugs. So you know what happens? You go crazy for money. You can't get a job, you can't hold a job because you're a drug addict. If you go to a job, after a while, your head's spinning. You're just not feeling right. You want to get out. You want to take more drugs, right? So, and then what happens is, you get temptations in you to steal. A lot of druggies end up stealing. Now, this is a haqiqah, this is reality. They steal, from who? From the parents. They steal from the parents' pockets. They steal from their parents' houses. They steal from their sisters, their brothers, their blood brothers. They steal from them. They steal from the workplace. And then they'll go straight away, buy the drugs, give themselves drugs again, and then ruin their body furthermore. My brother, haqiqah is you wake up today. Don't go down the pathway. Because what's the reality of it? Where are those friends today? Tell me, 35 years old, once you get, today you're 15. Today you're 16, 17, 18. You're enjoying it. You're at the height of your life. You think that, you know what? This is going to be my life for the rest of my life. No, it's not. Your family will hate you. They might not totally disown you, but they're going to really, really not like you. Your friends will leave you. Because what happens is friends even get sick of other friends. Because the one that is more crazy with the drugs, more crazy with this kind of life, you can't carry on. The only reason why you're doing this kind of life, I tell you why, is because your good mother and your good father have provided you with a good life. And that's why you're taking advantage. Tell me just yes or no, truth, yes or no. Yes. If you had responsibility, if you had to pay your own bills, if you had to go and get your own job, if you had to get your own house, if you had to pay all your bills, you would not be this person today. Your father gives you a good mattress, your mother puts food on the table, she cooks for you, you have a nice shower at home, you have all your clothes washed and ironed at home, you have lovely, technology and gadgets and all the phones and everything that's been given are gifted to you by your parents, uncles, family and so on, from their hard-earning sweat. And what happens is when you got all of that, you took advantage of it, but it's not going to last forever. All these drug addicts or all these people who mess around as young people in life, what happens after a while is their families disown them, they hate them. Very sad life. I feel sorry for them. Very sad life. I'm asking the young generation, please stop right now. Stop with the zina right now, with the attraction right now. Look at haqiqah and stop yourself. Because life at 35, what is it? At 35 you wake up. My man, you've probably gone through rehabilitation, okay? You get yourself off drugs. Now you got to get a job. You're not going to get an easy job. You're going to have to work very hard out there and get a job just to pay for your bills. Your mom and dad can't look after you all their lives. Your brothers and sisters can't look after you all their lives. They're going to get married themselves and have kids as well. And then haqiqah, reality hits you. What have I done? And the one thing I'm going to tell you guys, the earlier you make your mind up to come to haqiqah, to reality, and I'm going to tell you one thing that is reality, is come to the masjid, come to the Quran, come to ahadith, come to Allah, come to His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The earlier you make your move, the better. You know why? Because one day you're going to have to come anyway. You know how? If you don't come to the masjid to pray, may God forbid, one day your body will be brought into the masjid to be prayed over. Do we have a janazah before we die? Yes or no? Yes. Sorry, after we die, but before we go to the grave. After we die, but before we go to the grave, do you have a janazah? Yes or no? Yes. If you don't pray, whether you pray or not, your final thing is you're going to have to visit the masjid before your grave. Whether you like it or not. I'll tell you one thing, you come to the masjid and you see most people in masjid have got white beards. Yes or no, tell me? Yes. You know why? Because these people have woken up. There's a reality. They've woken up. They're counting their days. They're thinking, I don't know how long I've got left. They want to make the best of the next life that is coming. That's really hit them. Most of these people who are here, white beards, including me. Hello? It hits you. Life is short. And you'll be lucky if you live till 35, 45, 55. You'll be lucky. Young people are dying. Every other day young people are dying. Cancer, waves of cancer developing in the body. It's already there. Any moment it can develop. People are dying for reasons that doctors can't even understand. Stomach pains, footballers that are they're training every day. On the football field, gone. Athletes, gone. People who are people who have never done anything wrong. You might not have done nothing wrong. Your body's completely fine. An accident happens. Gone. Finished. War takes place. Gone. People are gone. Look what happened in Syria a few years back. Look what happened. Thousands, hundreds of thousands killed. Innocent people. Because of a war that started. Every now and again there's some kind of war that comes along in one of these countries. Right? People lose their lives. Innocent people lose their lives. I don't know if I'm going to be lucky to live that life. So haqiqah is what? I wake up today. My young brothers, my young sister, I'm going to tell you, look, engage yourself with the Quran. Change your life. Wake up earlier than later. And join, the imams that you've got here, I want you to take advantage of those imams. These imams are here in the masjid. They are trying to give, regular lessons from the Quran, from the seerah, from ahadith. They're trying to get people to change their lives. They're trying to get people to come to reality, haqiqah, reality. And when you come to reality, you understand, you know what? There was no point of doing all that craziness, because that craziness did not give me anything. And when you wake up in the end, you realize that, you know what? Humans, until the day of judgment, humans are going to always have their faults. They've got greed, they've got the pride, they've got the jealousy and whatever. I want to be a human being that has got what? Generosity. Not greed, generosity. Tell me which human would you like to travel with? Tell me the honest truth here. If you're traveling on a train journey, you're hungry, you're starving. The man in front of you pulls out a big bag of food and is munching away. He's going to have this whole food himself while you're starving in front of him, right? You're starving, he can see you're starving. He's going to eat right in front of you, and he's got extra left. He's got like another 2 meals left in there. So he packs it all up for his next 2 meals. He doesn't care about you. He goes, it burps, and you're starving in front. Would you rather have this man traveling with you, or you're hungry and starving? Man pulls out food and then he says, come, have food with you. Which one? The first or second? Some of you are confused, huh? SubhanAllah. The second one. Greed, nobody likes. Generosity, everybody likes. These are humans. When you become a good Muslim and you've got generosity inside you, people will like you. When you're selfish and you've got greed inside you, people won't like you. Pride versus humility and being humble. Which one would you like? Would you like a person who's like, talk to you like that, talk down to you, or somebody who actually looks up to you and who actually respects you? Everyone likes the person who respects you. I want to be a human being that gets respect by being humble, not by being arrogant, not by walking like this, but walking normally, walking humbly in front of others. I want to get respect through that, because all human beings like those who walk calmly in front of others, not arrogantly in front of others. I want to be a human being that has got sabr, patience. One of the biggest things you need for life. And with this, I'm going to end. I want to end at about 3 o'clock. We'll have a few quick Q&A, bit of questions after this. But at 3 o'clock, I wanted to end this. Do you know that my young brothers, my young sisters, I want you to listen to this. If you've got life, today's life is, I want it now. I see it, I want it now. You go to Amazon. Right, you go to Amazon, you can click on it today, it arrives tomorrow. They've even got a service, you can click it today and it arrives today. You've even got another one, you click on it and they send a drone with your parcel to your house. Have you heard of that one? Yeah? La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. You know what it's done to the young generation? If the young generation are on an app, or let's say a website, and they click it and it takes 2 seconds to appear on their screen, they're going to be moaning. And man, this is so slaggy, man, it's so slow, man. Took 2 seconds, 3 seconds. They want it to be instant. You know what it's done to the young generation? It's killed off their sabr. It's killed off their patience. It's a huge damage. You'll see a massive damage throughout the whole of their life is going to appear. Because when they can't get what they want, they're going to be stressed. they're going to be moaning, they're going to be angry, they're going to be complaining. And we're in that age right now. People want it like this. They're going to be driving a car. They can't sit patiently in the queue in a car. They want to horn, beep, or move out the way. They want to cut corners. Why? Because I want to get there now. Sabr is not there. No sabr with wife, no sabr with husband, no patience with children, no patience with others, colleagues, no patience. Because it's like, I want it now. You make any delays, or you make it like in a life that I can't get the way I want it, then I'm going to lash out. That's not good human. That's not a good human relationship that you can have with others. I'm going to summarize my talk. I said, please remember this. There's zina in everything. There's attraction, and there's also what? Haqiqah, truth, reality. The younger we are, the more we are on the first one, zina. The older we become, the more we start seeing haqiqah and reality. Eventually, my friend, today, doesn't matter what you're in, tomorrow you're going to be looking at the haqiqah of everything. Humans have evolved for thousands of years. Gadgets might be new. Technology is new. The way we lead our lives is new. But humans have not changed. The emotions haven't changed. Greed hasn't changed. Jealousy hasn't changed. Pride hasn't changed. All these emotions that hasn't changed. And if you want to understand what you're going to be tomorrow, you better start looking at humans. Understand who they are. See them for who they really are. And understand you're going to be the same. And try and get rid of all these bad traits. Become a good Muslim. Become practicing. Become practicing, my friends. I'm telling you, one of the best things in your life, the greatest happiness. Let me just explain to you what happiness is. People don't understand happiness. Happiness is not a smile. Happiness is not laughter. Happiness is not momentary. Happiness is long-term contentment. When you're content over a long period of time, then you're happy. No man, no woman in this world will ever be happy long term without connecting to the remembrance of Allah. This is from the Quran. Celebrities, you look at celebrities out there. Why are celebrities, why have they got a high drug rate amongst them? A lot of celebrities have got a high drug abuse rate amongst them. Pop stars, singers, film actors, especially musicians who are big in the industry. They've got a high rate of taking drugs. Why? Because they're not happy. They're looking for this contentment they can't find. If you want to have happiness long term, Allah says, "Ala bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub." Without your mind connecting with Allah Azza wa Jal, you will never find this great tranquility and happiness of your heart. You won't find that. If you want to find happiness, you become a good Muslim. Listen to what Allah Azza wa Jal has said in the Quran. Try and bring that in your life. What the Prophet ﷺ said in the Ahadith. When you change your life according to that, you will find long-term happiness. And the biggest happiness you can ever find is the day when you meet your Lord, inshaAllah. The day we come to our death. Because death is not... Look, if you're scared of death, that means you've done something wrong and you haven't repented properly. If anybody sitting here is scared of death, you either haven't repented or you haven't repented enough that you feel that you've really asked Allah for a good sorry for what you've done and you've changed your life. If you like that, if you change your life and you're doing your salah and you're practicing the Quran as best as you can and you're practicing ahadith, then death is not something that I should be scared of. Because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I haven't got big sins and other things in my life, so I should be looking forward to the time when I'm meeting my Allah. And then after that, it's going to be good and good forever. Khalidina fiha abada, inshallah, in Jannah. Say Ameen. Okay, with that, I come to the conclusion of my reminder. I'm going to ask you, any brothers who've got any questions, you can raise your hands and we can take your questions straight up. And then we'll conclude, inshallah. Anyone who's got questions, any questions with what I've said with today's reminder, anyone's got a question, put your hands up and you can ask. If anyone's got a question that is to do with general Islam, anything you want to ask. If you want, raise your hands and ask. Now, if I say I'm not going to answer your question, there'll be a reason why I'm not answering questions. Okay? Sometimes people ask political questions. I don't want to answer political questions. I have my right not to answer, actually. Yes, Bismillah. Oh, knife crime. Jazakallah khair, brother. Yes. My brother has brought a very, very important thing. We've got this new problem in our society, which is the knife crime society. You know, these youth that are growing up, they think the solution is to carry a knife with you, and if you carry the knife with you, then you're a bad man. The bigger and the scarier your knife, the more everyone's going to fear you. And no one's going to mess around with you. Well, you're wrong. If you have a knife on you, you're asking for trouble. If you don't have a knife on you, you're not asking for trouble. There's a simple message. And let me give you an example, yeah? If I walk on the street, okay, I'm just giving you another example. I want you to understand this. Understand the psychology of this. If I'm walking in the street and I'm like this, I'm looking down, you come right in front of me and I move out the way, I look down, and your shoulders are gonna, barge into my shoulders. So I move my shoulders out, allow you to go, and I walk off. Will he pick on me, yes or no? No. You know why? Why? Because I gave him his little respect. He wants attraction. Like, I'm big. Hey, this is my road. My dad owns it. Yeah. So you better move out of my way, because I'm bigger than you. I'm gonna barge my shoulders into your shoulders, and if you dare keep your shoulders there, that's it. I'm gonna show you who's bigger, me or you. So when you move your shoulders out the way, when you move out of his way, is he gonna pick on you, yes or no? No. But if you keep your shoulders there, then you gotta fight. You know it, me and you know it, you gotta fight. If a person looks at you like this, and you look down, or you look away, or you move away, he's less likely to attack you. He might want to come after you for some odd reason. It does happen, I understand that. But I'm saying you reduce the amount, the possibility of both of you clashing, you reduce it by looking down, looking away, moving away, or not engaging in his eye contact. When you have no knife on you, no weapons on you, he's got a weapon, you got no weapons, the message you're giving is, I don't want to fight. You're actually making your life better. You're going to say, no. He's got a knife, I'm going to have a knife. No, you're doing the wrong thing. Because when he looked at you and you look back at him, is there a fight, yes or no, coming up, yes or no? Yes. When he barged his shoulders and he was about to barge and you barged it in him, a fight is coming up, yes or no? Yes. When he has a knife, you have a knife, fight. And some of you can say, no. I don't want to get stabbed up there. Well, do you know what? When you have a knife on you, even in self-defense, if you harm the other person, according to the country's law, you've lost probably 15 years of your life. You're going to be in prison. Think about haqiqah, think about reality. And most of the youngsters who are carrying knives, it's not the knives that's the most dangerous part. Let me explain this. A lot of you thinking, let's stop them having knives. It's not the knives that's the worst problem. You know the worst problem is? The worst problem is arrogance, pride. Pride is the main cause of trying to have the knife. Because they want to be big. They want to show a social status. They want to show that, you know what, I'm not scared. I don't care about the law. I don't care about who says what. I'm going to carry this knife. I'm going to be bad as the other boys. Why they're doing that? Attraction, one thing. Second thing is pride. Pride. Arrogance, pride. That's the real killer. If we want to stop the youth from carrying knives, from attacking others, we've got to address a deeper problem. The deeper problem is they need to understand and they need to change their lives to a life where they can feel comfortable not looking at the other person in the eye, not engaging in insults. When somebody insults them, so what? If you can get the youth to become like this, they're not in any cussing. Well, when someone cusses them, they don't just cuss back. If you can get them to be humble inside, and how are you going to do that? Best way would be for them to engage in this Quran and to become a good Muslim. But even if you can't, I want you to do one thing. If you know any youth that might be carrying any knives, one of the things you can do to wake them up, right, is to make them actually study and visit people who've gone through the knife crime, either ended up in hospital or ended up in prison. To actually get them to go there, visit them, see them, study that might wake them up. If nothing else, then what these youth need is these youth need our attention. They need our time. Guys, I'm telling you this. These youth need our time. They need our contact. They need to be with us. They need to sit with us. Some of us, we have very short patience with these youth. If a young member of my family or if a young member of the society becomes someone who's got into drugs, got into the knife crime, got into the wrong thing, I shouldn't just throw him away. I want all of you to understand this. Guys, in Pondazen Masjid specifically, if you have a youth member walking inside, right? He's walking inside with rings, with chains, with the haircut going up like that, right? Don't look down on him. His trousers are low. He's coming, he might be smelling slightly of alcohol or something else, or weed or drugs or whatever, right? Don't look down on him. Don't treat him like, hey, who's that? Don't do that. Alhamdulillah, he's come to the masjid. What are you going to say, guys? Now, I'm being serious with you, because we cause part of the problem. We cause part of the problem. The boys come inside. Alhamdulillah, he's come to the house of Allah. Finally, he's come to the house of Allah. It's an honor for us. This masjid is not a gentleman's club. It's not a club of pious people with long beards and praying in the front rows and everybody quiet and everybody don't say anything and everything's going to be fine. No. You know what the Turkish people said? And I want you to understand this. Today in Turkish mosques, they've got this sign written up. The sign says this. It says, while you're praying your salah in the masjid, if you don't hear children playing in the background, then worry for your next generation. It's a serious thing. We don't want any children. We don't want anyone to make any sound. We don't want anyone youth coming in here with the funky hairstyles and coming in with whatever attitude. No, this is a hospital for them. If they can't get treated here, where are they going to get treated? This is the place for them to get. Now they come. They're going to come one day with this, with the attitude. Yes, be a nice person. Sit with them. He's going to have a foul mouth. Tolerate the foul mouth. Teach him how to not use the F word. Tell him, don't say F, say fish. What the fish? Get him to say that one day. Another day, get him to change that. Tell him to say, look, just when you're angry, to say, La hawla wa la quwwata. Say, astaghfirullah, bro. Astaghfirullah, bro. Tell him to change it like that. Slowly he's going to change. He can't change in one night. He's sick. He needs someone to treat him. We're in the masjid. If we're going to chase him away, who's going to treat them? And you know what they need? They need suhbah. Any moment, any youth, young person, old person has changed. The biggest change in human history comes when you spend time with another set of human beings and you match your behavior to their behavior. That's the biggest change. This lecture I'm giving right now, this is a very small change. The lecture I'm giving now is Panadol. It's paracetamol. It's going to have a small effect. When the youth spend time with their elders, long term, this is when long term medication has worked. Your bayan one day is one day, tafsir mahfil, we've got loads of them in Bangladesh. Tafsir mahfil, which is good. It's good, I'm not saying it's bad. It's good, but it's a small effect. The real effect is when people come spend time with other human beings, either in a khanqah, either in a spiritual place, either in the masjid, in i'tikaf, in hajj, in umrah with a lot of other people. They spend it on a trip, they spend it on a course, Islamic course. They spend long term coming to masjid every day. Slowly, behavior, attitude, dress code, inside everything changes. People need 5 to 10 years, or maybe 2 to 3 years, whatever it is. They need that suhbah, they need the companionship, then they change. So my friends, anyone comes in this masjid, whatever state it is, embrace them, be nice to them, welcome them. Don't be over welcoming to them. They don't like that. If they walk in, everyone's like, oh, mashallah, where have you been? We want to be waiting. If you're over this, they won't want to know you. Just let them be at ease. Now and again, go up to them. Do you need anything? Can I help you? Be nice to them. After a little while, most of these youth, actually, I've been an imam. I was an imam once for 3 years in a masjid. And when what happens is you see that one person comes to the masjid who you never saw coming to the masjid. Most of the times they come because they had a problem in their life. And as an imam, I would go up to them. Brother, can I help you? Brother, tell me, please, can I help you? Is there anything? Please tell me. And then they open up. Family life problems, social problems, work problems, debt problems. People come to the masjid because they had a problem. And then the thing is, they need to find someone who can counsel them, someone who can talk to them, someone who can give them ease, someone who can look after their broken heart, mend their broken heart. And when they find that, they're yours. They're yours. Instead of, some people like, hey, you, the Jahannam is coming, you're gonna burn in hellfire, and you're gonna get roasted and toasted and barbecued in there, and you're gonna be burning. That's not the way to bring the youth. If you go to any of these youth on drugs, you're gonna say to them, hey, if you say that, you lost them. They're like, if I'm going to be burning them, I might as well burn them. They become deaf to this. They need compassion. They need someone to understand them. Of course, you're going to draw your line with them. I understand that. You can't just be so soft with them. But they need compassion. They need love. They need to be slowly brought in. Anyway, any other questions that anyone? Are we finished now?
So they can give it out.
Yeah.
So either you can just end it, or you can give it out while this question answers. Should I just ask you?
There's food here, please. If you please just sit. I'm going to end it very soon. Is there any other important question? That was a very good question from the suggestion from the brother. Any other thing? Otherwise, I'm going to end it right now. There's nice food. The smell is filling the whole hall up. You've been very hungry. I'm Jazakumullah khair for sitting so patiently. Right. So I tell you what, we're going to end it here. Inshallah, we'll have a short dua, and there's food to be given out. So if you stay here, inshallah, we'll have a short dua, and then we're going to end this. If you lift your hands, inshallah. اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم اللهم يا حنان يا منان يا بديع السماوات والأرض يا ذا الجلال والإكرام يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث يا الله يا رحمن يا رحيم يا ملك يا قدوس يا سلام يا مؤمن يا مهيمن يا عزيز يا جبار يا متكبر يا خالق يا بارئ يا من له الأسماء الحسنى اللهم إنا نسألك من الخير كله عاجله وآجله ما علمنا منه وما لم نعلم ونعوذ بك من الشر كله عاجله وآجله ما علمنا منه وما لم نعلم ونسألك اللهم ما سألك منه عبدك ونبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ونعوذ بك مما تعوذ منه عبدك ونبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وما قضيت لنا من قضاء فاجعل عاقبته رشدا. Oh Allah, we ask you to give us true happiness in this life. Oh Allah, let us see things in their reality. Let us not be fooled by the distraction and by the attraction and the zina that is out there, but let us understand the haqiqah and the true reality of things. Oh Allah, make us those people who become good Muslims in this life, those who follow the Quran, those who follow the Sunnah. Oh Allah, save our youth and save our youngsters from the many temptations that are out there. Those of them who are on drugs and on alcohol and other temptations, oh Allah, we ask you to bring them out of there. Oh Allah, we ask you to give us the means to also help them come out of that. Oh Allah, make our societies clean, make us of those people who will be examples to others. We ask you to raise our status, relieve us from our debts, to cure us from our illnesses. We ask you to give us the best of this world, the best of the next world. Oh Allah, we ask you at the time of death for you to call to us and say, Ya ayyatuhan nafsul mutma'innah, ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية فادخلي في عبادي وادخلي جنتي. Oh Allah, we ask you to put us in Illiyin, into the highest abode with our parents. رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. Oh Allah, we ask you to have mercy on our parents and to raise the status in the Akhirah. And together with our family members, we ask you to resurrect us amongst the Nabiyyin, Siddiqin, Shuhada, Salihin on the Day of Judgment. And oh Allah, to keep us in the good company until we enter Jannah with them in Jannatul Firdaus. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.